Kinder and HarperAudio Australia present this unabridged recording of One Day We're All Going to Die, written and read by Elise Esther Hearst. This story was written on the traditional lands of the first storytellers of this place, the Bunurong and Wurundjeri peoples of the Kulin Nation. Sovereignty has never been ceded, and this always was and always will be Aboriginal land. I pay my respects to elders past and present. For my parents, whom I love, in memory of Maria Cam, my grandmother. Without her, nothing. Cookie. Your mother was murdered and now she's dead, darling. That's what I said to her. Exactly. My grandmother's mouth, like a malformed wire hanger, bent from a grimace into a smirk. I watched her add 2 equals to her coffee, stirring haphazardly with the spoon in her better hand. Coffee mud gushed over the sides onto the saucer. She was referring to a conversation she'd had with the woman in the unit next door, who had been searching for her mother's phone number in the white pages. That same lady came knocking the day before, asking if anyone had seen her dead relatives wandering the halls of the home. It's not nice to tell someone that their parents have been murdered, Cookie, I said. My grandmother's name is Carolina, but somewhere between Poland and Melbourne, and her daughter and 2 granddaughters, and the eternal hope for great-grandchildren and all the children after that, she became known as Cookie. I asked her once if she'd ever considered changing her name by deed poll. I'm going to have Cookie on my gravestone? Pfft. And then she'd rolled some phlegm around in her mouth, spat into a hanky, reapplied her lipstick and followed up with, "Don't be ridiculous." That phrase, "don't be ridiculous," was one my grandmother repeated frequently, in particular when she was the one being ridiculous. My mother liked to borrow it from time to time, and I had the feeling it would reside among the fragments I was destined to inherit. Now Cookie was scowling. "Ha! Everyone in this place has parents who've been murdered. She's an idiot." "Shush," spat David, my grandfather, peering up momentarily from his Sudoku. "She can hear you." "You shush," Cookie spat back. "The idiot is deaf. She's completely deaf." I was due back at work soon. I snuck my phone out of my pocket to check the time. I loved my grandparents and couldn't imagine a life without them. However, each time I visited the home there was a part of me that hoped they wouldn't be there. Not dead, but at lunch, in the arts and crafts room, asleep in front of a film. "She's been hitting the nurses," Cookie said to me, sucking in a breath. "Though apparently only the men. I don't blame her." Cookie pushed a plastic container under my nose. "Eat one." I removed the lid of the container and found a few digestives cascading out of a ripped packet. I scanned unsuccessfully for a use-by date. I'd already refused tea and coffee. Cookie never washed her cups properly. They were discoloured and lipstick-stained. My repulsion was bratty, but I couldn't help it. I bit into a biscuit. It was stale, and was careful to wince without her noticing. "What's wrong with the male nurses?" "They're rough." "No, they're not," muttered David. "Except the Filipino boy. I can't understand a word he's saying, but, oh, beautiful face, like a dolly." "His name is," David said. "Wait, it will come." "Finish your puzzle." David shook his head and closed his eyes. Cookie leaned in so close to me that I could smell 95 years on her sour breath. "David's been at that puzzle all morning." Not many couples made it together to the Remy Salzberg Home for the Aged. It would be nice to say that Cookie and David's was a great love story and they had stayed alive for each other. But it was perhaps more accurate to say they...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?